guys, I'm Renakshi and you are watching UpClose with TechGeeks. There's no denying that over the years, the invention, innovation, and diffusion of technology has brought a sea change in the way we communicate with the world around us. Talk about working remotely or accessing remote gadgets. Everything is possible in today's time, and the credit goes to technology. There's no denying that we're living a far better life than our previous generations just because we have the accessibility of high end technologies. So, in today's episode, we'll talk about one such technology that's changing human life like anything, and that is nothing else but IoT. So, without taking much of your time, let me introduce you to our guest for the day, Kevin Mack. Well, Kevin is an iOS developer with an extensive experience of working on IoT projects. Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Thank you, Rinakshi, for inviting me, and it's my pleasure to be on the show.
It's my pleasure, Kevin. Kevin, before we start talking about IoT, let me also introduce our co host to our audience. Well, guys, our co host today is Dhairyata Desai, and she is a quality analyst. Welcome to the show, Dhairyata.
Thank you, Renakshi, for having me here. Well, Renakshi, believe it or not, but I was so excited to co host this episode. Especially, Kevin is the guest. He is not only a skilled iOS developer, but he is very helpful, warm, and friendly by nature. I am really very happy to be a part of this episode.
Well, Dharita, I'm also very excited to have both of you on today's episode, and I'm looking forward to conversing with you guys. So, Kevin, let's begin today's conversation. And my first question to you is, what is IoT and how does it work?
Well, Rinakshi, although IoT is everywhere nowadays, I do agree that not everyone out there understands it fully. Think for a second. Wouldn't it be great if we could connect all the physical devices and access them through the internet? I am talking about the devices that we use in our day to day life, like a smartwatch, music systems, smart bulbs. So, when all these devices get connected through the internet, we call it the Internet of Things. In the context of IoT, the most common thing that gets talked about is a smart home. Imagine you are away from your home, still you can control the temperature of your room. You can check the status of your door whether it is locked or not. So all these work together to create a better home experience or may save energy in the process. But the possibilities goes well beyond that. If we talk about a city's public transport system, then we can manage it effectively using IoT. You can provide a much better experience to the people by managing buses, bus schedules, or buses maintenance. So, all these IoT devices follow the same basic principle: collect and send data from a device or a sensor, process the data on the server, and deliver the output on the user interface.
I totally agree with you, Kevin, that although it is everywhere, not everyone is aware of it properly. But hopefully, soon it will be as common as any other technology that we're using today.
Kevin, you just explain us what IoT is, right? Now, can you please brief me about how it is affecting our life?
It's a very good question, Dhairyata. I think the IoT is going to change the way we interact with the world. If we talk about the healthcare sector, then in olden days, the doctor used to treat the patient in person. However, things are changing now. For example, using a smartwatch, you can measure a blood pressure or a heartbeat rate. According to the survey, 4 million patients globally will be monitored remotely by the end of 2020. Similarly, if we talk about a transportation system, then you can track a vehicle. Apart from that, you can open a door lock using your mobile phone and there is no need to open it manually. So it will be helpful in many sectors like weather forecasting, agriculture, food system, etc.
Kevin, based on your answer, I think the more we use IoT, the better it is for us. Kevin, you have already spoken a little bit about smart homes, but would you like to elaborate on it and tell our audience which are those devices that are most commonly controlled in a smart home?
Well, Reenakshi, a smart home is a home which can be controlled by us through high-end applications even when you are away from it. It is easier when they manage things themselves. For example, the lights in your home turn on and off automatically when the sun goes up and down, or they get switched on automatically when you arrive at your home. So it makes your everyday life very easier. We can control smart door locks, bulbs, air conditioner, music systems, or any other smart home appliances.
Given it sounds like a fairy tale, but yes, we have achieved it. From caves to smart homes, our journey as a society has been remarkable so far, isn't it?
Of course, it is.
We are having a lot of choices in home devices. Which one you suggest?
Dhairyata, there are several devices that you can order for your home, such as smart bulbs, music systems, thermostats, or door locks. You can pick any one of them. We have made a smart home application, and using that application, we can manage all these devices. There are a lot of options available in the market when it comes to door lock compared to other IoT devices. We have integrated a door lock from the company called Sarto. We have integrated Philips smart bulbs, Sonos music system, and Nest thermostat. We have done a lot of research to pick up the best amongst industry. So if you are a developer or a homeowner, you can easily pick up these devices.
Thanks, Kevin, for such a nice answer.
Given we've spoken a lot about how IoT is impacting our lives, but would you like to throw some light on what are its potential challenges and what are the solutions?
IoT security is a big concern these days. If you have installed a door lock, what if it gets hacked or someone opens it? So there are some basic security standards that need to be taken care while developing a solution. If the data travels through the internet protocol, then you should use IPv6 over IPv4 because IPv6 is most secure, efficient, and more friendly than IPv4. Your server cannot send public key directly. You should use certificate from any certified authority. Also, there should be end-to-end encryption because the data travels through many different network or different service providers. So the data has to be encrypted or decrypted within its own gateway. The another challenge is high investment cost because we need to take care of every aspect including security, performance, reliability. So it costs a lot. So we cannot go end to end by implementing our own solution. Better to use some pre-built solutions.
That's true, Kevin. IoT security is a big concern, but as in the case of other technologies, if we take proper measures, probably we'll end up dealing with it effectively.
And my last question to you, Kevin, is what's your advice to organizations looking for IoT implementing for the first time?
If you need high and scalable performance, if you do not want to bother about security checks, or if you have a tight deadline, then I would suggest go for some pre-built solutions because someone has invested a lot of time and money to make a better and reliable product. There are a lot of IoT devices are available in the market. You can use their services or APIs. At the same time, if you have a highly skilled team or you are a learner, then definitely go for your own solution because that will help you in the long run.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin. Does it mean that businesses should go for pre-built solutions if they want to play safe?
To some extent, that's correct.
Before I ask my final question to you, Kevin, let me tell you that I ask this question to all my guests. So the question is, do you find it difficult to strike a perfect work-life balance?
Well, Rinakshi, I don't find it that difficult to strike a perfect work life balance because I end up managing my work on time. I do agree that sometimes it is not possible, but there is always an exception. So the key is finish your work on time and you will find happiness both at your workplace and at home.
I couldn't agree more. Yes, the key definitely is if you finish your work on time, you'll never find it hard to find time for what you love. On that note, it's finally time for me to wrap up this conversation. Guys, Dhairyata and Kevin, thank you very much for joining me on this show. It was pleasure talking to you guys.
Thank you, Inakshi.
Thank you, Renakshi.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for yet another stunning episode next week. And if you don't want to miss any updates from us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, bye bye.